Hello, welcome back to Steve's Retirement Corner. Retirement, my thoughts. I think uh, probably 70% of my thoughts and perspectives and ideas on retirement come from my experience. People I've seen over the years, people I've helped out, uh, just people I've known, worked with. The other 30%, I would guess, probably from some kind of expert, whether it's a book I've read or financial guy I go to or a healthcare person I know or something like that. And that's what I'm basing my retirement on. And that's what I'm going off of. And, I know very few people, very few retirees that live different in retirement than they did when they were working. Very few of them. And the ones that have is because of something outside that they just couldn't control. There's no way to plan for, a major illness or what have you. You know, a house fire or whatever, just destroys your home or something. There's no way to plan for that stuff. It's out there and it happens, but it's not something you can plan for, and you know, it doesn't stop you from worrying, but it shouldn't let worry you. You know, I and, most people I have found live pretty much the same way as when they were working. If they didn't do anything, didn't have anything, were always running behind on the bills or whatever, the retirement's going to be the same way. Or if they was able to keep everything going, and enjoy themselves a little bit, in retirement they were able to do the same thing. My mom and dad worked in a factory, both of them, for years. We had a good life. We went to Disney, went to the beach, you know, traveled around a little bit. When they retired, they did the same thing. Up until they got to the age where they didn't feel like it. I think it was about early 70s, about 74, I think, something like that. They started cutting back on that stuff. They just couldn't take the car rides anymore. And that's been my experience. And that's what I've based my retirement around. You know, you think back on it, 50 or 60 years ago when you were a kid. Your grandparents had a boring life, to you. But you was, whatever you were, 12, 20, or whatever. That was to you. But if you would have asked them, the overwhelming majority would say they're living just as good as they always had. You know, this retirement thing is a new concept. It really didn't take off till probably around the Second World War. Now, you had people giving pensions way back. The soldiers in the Civil War were getting pensions when it was over with. But this new concept of retirement didn't really take off till the 40s or so. Once you started getting Social Security in the 30s, and then public pensions took off in the daggone Second World War in the 50s when it really took off. And it's been pushed real big by these finance people, insurance companies and stuff, pushing that dream retirement. And I think that's a lot of problem with people you know, planning for that dream retirement that you see on TV or in the magazines. And you're never going to attain that. The overwhelming majority of people are never going to be able to sit on a beach in Tahiti drinking Mai Tais all day long. It's just not going to happen. But you didn't live that way before you retired. You know, you know, it's just well, that's the reason I think the way I think. About everybody I've seen, is having a pretty good, pretty decent retirement. Now you don't know everything about everybody, you know, but the close ones, my parents, this lady I help out across town. I've worked for older people past 35 years, I guess, helping them out. And I've gotten to know most of them pretty good and what they did when they worked and how they lived then. And their lifestyle hadn't changed at all. If anything, it increased just a little bit. Now you got the people that have to go out there and they have a pretty good life while they're working, and then their style does change a little bit. It goes down, but the overwhelming majority it just doesn't. You know, if you don't play 3 rounds of golf, you know, take two big trips overseas every year while you're retiring, while you're working, chances are you're not going to do that when you retire. Chances are strong that you're not going to do that when you retire. You didn't do it for the past 50 or 60 years before you retired. And then all of a sudden, when you hit 60, 65, or 70, you're going to do that. It's not likely. It just is not likely, you know. But that's where I get most of my thoughts from. This stuff, I guess it's personal experience, you know. And, you very well might need a million or 2 million or 20 million to live off of. I don't know. But nobody, well, I know a couple, nobody I know has got that kind of money. It just wasn't, it's not in the cards. Heck, my family, they didn't even graduate high school till my generation come along. You know, my perception of retirement is a lot different than a lot of people. It used to be you worked till you died, or you worked till your health gave out. As long as you was healthy. Then it kind of changed in a bit of the last century and started pushing this on people, and I hate that. I mean, because if you go off of that stuff there, you'd never be able to. You'd never be able to. I don't know. I don't know. That's a little tidbit. I went a little long. I apologize. Y'all be good. We'll talk at you later.